everybody. What's up? I'm Jazz.
And I'm Lo. And this is the Jas&Lo podcast.
Welcome,
everybody. So on this podcast, we talk about everyday life experiences from different perspectives, hot topics, and of course, spilling some tea. So let's do a quick check-in. Jazz, how are you?
I am ecstatic.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this mother effing episode, which you guys will all obviously be in on as soon as we get this ball rolling. But I'm really excited.
No, this is going to be really fun.
This week has been great, and this
fun.
is going to be really,
so fun.
dope. But how are you doing before we get into the episode? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling.
You're chilling. You're big chilling.
Like a villain. I've had a really good week. I'm having a really good day. I'm ready for this podcast.
It's going to be beautiful.
It is going to be good.
So with that said, let's introduce our guest. We've been teasing y'all, as far as who we're going to have on the show and everything. So without further ado, he goes by many of names. Mr. Cool Guy.
Never.
Mr. TSims, Mr. Tall Light Skin,
Keep it going.
Mr. I don't even know, yo. I can't even go on and on. But he is my baby brother who I love and adore so mother effing much.
That's the rumor.
It is the rumor. But the rumor still happens to be true. But without further ado, Teddy.
What's up?
Welcome.
Welcome, Teddy.
Onto the podcast.
Man,
I'm so excited.
it's a pleasure to be here, definitely.
Is it?
It is. This is a crazy experience,
Oh, yay.
It's wild. When we were prepping this one thing.
But being on
And
and actually recording.
When you actually press the start button.
man, that's what I'm saying. The minute
Gets
you press
real.
that start button, it's like laser focused, everybody.
Right.
man.
But it's honestly, I feel like we both experienced that though in the beginning of us recording. Because at first we were like, oh my God, do we sound right?
Oh, yeah. Listened
know
over
what
to
I
our voices
mean?
a bunch of times. We really sound like that.
Yo.
And then you get used to it. It is
And
what
then
it
you
is.
just have a conversation. So.
Yeah, but today's episode is going to be Tea Time with TSims,
Yes.
a.k.a. Teddy.
Oui.
Woohoo.
So, Teddy, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. As my lovely older sister explained, my name's Teddy. I'm the youngest of the bunch. There's 6 actually, a little bit about me. I'm 22 years old. I'm an aeronautical science major, currently pursuing my dream, trying to be a pilot and get through life, you know what I'm saying?
And
Currently,
exploring other ventures too.
you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Feel you. Keep it going, boo boo.
Just rocking with you. How are you doing? How you doing tonight?
We're doing good. I'm doing good. I'm chilling.
This room that we're in is a little toasty.
A little bit.
toasty.
But I'm excited about this topic because, I'm excited to, hear your perspective on stuff because you are, the youngest of 6. And you have, 2 older sisters. And you have your mom and your grandma. And, you have quite a, interesting dynamic. A lot of people, don't have that where it's, people get along and, they actually want to hang out and do, family stuff. And everybody seems, genuinely, into one another.
That is so funny.
Well, I mean, it's just from someone else's I'm an outsider, but when I first hung out with you guys, I was like, this is so weird.
Oh my God, that's funny though. That being a friend though, coming into my circle.
Yeah.
And when I say my circle, I mean my family, because there is a lot of us. There's 6 siblings, 2 adults, and that's not even including our siblings' partners.
And it's not including
that for
grandparents
you?
down the street.
Yeah,
I mean,
grandparents, exactly, for
It's
real. They were
literally,
around the corner.
When Lauren came around,
We were still in the Nevada house.
yeah, they was down the block.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
So how was that for you as being a friend, being introduced
I
to,
mean,
a
honestly,
family?
just the siblings perspective, I honestly thought you guys had been siblings since day one. I never knew that there was a step thing going on. I never knew that there were step siblings because it was so
yay!
Exactly.
chill and everybody was super polite and nice. And
Right.
then like even meeting like Edge Hill and your mom and your grandma and your grandpa, like everybody was like super just chill and was like, let's go
Right.
hang out and do this. And I'm like, that is so weird. Like they
Aw.
actually want to go do stuff together or they care.
Yeah,
And your
yeah,
guys'
yeah.
jokes were like, it was just a good vibe. Like, yeah, it was
Aw.
very like welcoming, super nice.
Was
Like
it?
there were, yeah.
Because I'm not
Like,
gonna lie, I was I was kind of nervous introducing you to my family because I thought it would have been too much.
I mean, for sure. Like you walk in and you're like, there's 4 grown boys right here. And then there's you and Bree. And then like, you know, your mom's like cooking and then Ed Hill's like doing whatever he's doing. And I'm like, oh my God, like there's a lot of people in here. Like, how are they
it
all
it
like,
could definitely be a lot to like take in at first. you know?
yeah. And everybody was doing their own thing though. Like someone had their space over here and then like the
Right.
girls would have like their space and like everybody was just like doing their thing.
Did you ever feel nervous about like bringing your friends over the house? I feel like did you bring a lot of friends over?
I don't know,
think
because like
so.
to be honest, I didn't bring a lot of people to the house.
You didn't?
I was always trying to be outside. Like I think because there were so many of us.
Okay. So you liked like, that was your kind of escape.
Exactly.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, especially like coming from the apartment, like, and then when
Oh
we went to the
my
house,
gosh.
it was just like, man, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
Out of these walls.
I'm gone. I'm
Yeah.
down the street, you know. So, bringing people over, like growing up, I never really felt too affected by that, you know. But I could definitely see, now that I'm older, how that could be intimidating for somebody, you know. It's like, whoa, it's like you're saying, there's 4 grown, you know, men at one point, and then Jasmine, Bree, dogs barking over
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my
dogs.
gosh. Yeah. I totally forgot about
know,
Oh
like,
my
it's
gosh.
Turbo
you
and
guys-
loud
Waffles.
house.
Yeah.
We had 2 dogs at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
no, it's a house full.
It's definitely somewhere that like there's always something to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what time of night it is. It just feels like there's always something you can do there.
But at a certain time, you had to be quiet.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Our family
yeah.
is not quiet.
Soon as Mama got out the shower, yo,
Yo,
Mom's
I'm
going to sleep.
bed. I'm going to bed. Like
Yeah,
she would like
everybody-
send us text messages, and then if you know that she was just fed up,
Oh.
she would come downstairs in her robe. and be like, "No, the F is- it's X, Y, and Z time."
Man,
Yeah.
that's when she hits you with
Wind
the
it
government names. Like,
Yes.
Oh,
quiet the fuck down.
But wait, what about like with you and your brother? Like, did you guys ever like? I know that there's just like
just us 2.
That's fine. It's a
I mean,
beautiful
I can
thing.
still, you know, bringing people around your family in
Like
general. could
right,
be
exactly.
tough.
Did you ever get like nervous, like bringing your your friends around?
Not
or
really.
anybody?
No, because my mom was like super involved in my life and
Your mom is
she
super sweet.
already like knew everybody. And my dad was a cop. So I was more worried about him and like what he was going to say to people. Like, you know, the cop voice and hey, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. But no, my brother was super chill. Like him and I would bring people over. More me. I had a lot more people over than he did. And we had a pool. So, you know, living in the desert, you like have to have a pool.
Ooh.
So everybody would come over and like swim and stuff. But yeah, it was just me and Cameron.
Dang, that's right. You said you're from living in the desert.
I
so that
know.
kinda caught me. I'm like, wait,
Havasu.
I
what
know.
do you mean? Like I forgot you're from Arizona.
Mhm.
Havasu, yo.
Yeah, man.
You lived there for a little bit.
I didn't live in Havasu. I lived in Arizona. But
my
that was
gosh.
an experience in itself.
Listen, when you told me where you were, I was like, how the heck
Is he surviving?
is he out there? Like, I couldn't even,
God's grace.
I don't even know how you did that.
I didn't know research. I jumped
You did.
headfirst into an empty pool.
Oh,
Because you weren't really happy with where you were the first
Man,
time.
and you know, to the people listening, no disrespect to the ones out there, but I went to Prescott, Arizona, and that was an experience. That was just coming from a big city to such a small, remote town.
Yo.
where like the bar is closed like on what, Monday? No. Yeah, they close on Monday, Tuesdays.
Yeah, I didn't get
Like-
served at a bar. We're gonna be real. It's
Get
tough.
the mother
It's
effing
tough out
shit
there.
out of there.
Yeah, I went to. I was on the Super Bowl. I was there, stuck, not
Oh
at
my
home, which is only like
gosh.
6 hours away, which is hella crazy.
Right.
And I went to like 3 places.
And
First
no one
three,
would serve you?
first 3 told me like, yeah, we don't serve, you know, food or drink here. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, all right,
These
what do
two
you
mother
mean?
effers right next to me
I
have
was
a
like, yeah,
drink.
niggas eating peanuts right there, bro. Like,
Like, what are you fucking talking
I
about?
was like, all right. And then the last place I went to, man, they told me they sat me in the back. It was actually crazy because like there was people on their like lunch breaks, sitting where I was sitting watching this little TV, and like I was trying to be like a good sport about it, and I was just like, you know, whatever. Like I just really want to watch the game. I can't watch it at my dorm room right now. Like I can't stream it, and just sooner or later, like it took like 30 minutes. And I realized I wasn't getting served. And I'm like, bro, like
You're joking.
I was like,
Get
the hell,
out of here! I
No,
never knew
I did
this. You
not know
never
that.
told us.
you know, it's just keep pushing.
Are
Like,
you
it
mother
happens.
effing for
That
real?
makes me sad.
Yeah,
That makes me
it's,
sad.
it's
though,
crazy,
still.
but
Well, because I remember driving to come and get you.
hey,
Bruh.
Jay, big sis came in clutch,
Mother
came and
effer, that
picked
was
brother
a mother
up.
effing drive. That was 12 hours.
Yeah, one day
Ooh. Straight.
straight,
Oh my God, nope.
I drove there.
and she wouldn't let me drive back. I don't know
No,
why.
because I was just eager. I was just to the point where I was like, I already passed like damn near the 6-hour mark.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, let me go to the bathroom. Because I had to go to the bathroom so bad once I got
came
to you.
in, she met
Because
the-
I didn't want to stop on my way there.
But here we go, like this whole thing about being like a younger brother, like this is something that you like, has she always been this way with you? Or is she like,
Wait, what?
like with you, like just driving, you're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drive. And Teddy's like, hello, I can drive.
Oh man, nah.
Or is she
I'm
pretty
usually
like,
the driver in any
Really?
situation. Like,
You think so?
all right, yeah.
so she kind of surprised you?
I didn't. For Jasmine to come get me, like, did that surprise me driving? It did. I was like, ooh, that's kind of tough. Like, not because of the extent she's willing to go, just like because you know, Jasmine took me to countless AAU games growing up, things like that.
completely.
But when she offered, she was like, hey, like, yeah, I'll come get you. It was just like, wow, like, damn, that's crazy. Like, I appreciate that. It was kind of more of like a, I don't know. It was a good feeling. Something I haven't felt in a while, just because of like, it was a warm feeling, I guess you could say. You know,
it's gonna make me
not to downplay
cry.
it, but
That's
just because
cute.
I think, you know, I'm away at school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just nice to see. Like, damn, okay, cool, you'll come get me. I have no whip. Like, I'm
No, that
I'm
was a
stranded out here in
thing.
Prescott, Arizona.
Oh,
where
And I got a rental
Gosh.
car that day too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like because my whole thing is our family like dynamic is you just show up
Facts.
regardless of where you are, who you're with, or what. If like one of your siblings or family members calls you for whatever, mother effer, you better be there. Or like you're gonna have like damn near 7 people down your neck
Man.
about like why the hell weren't you there? What the heck happened? Like kind of a thing, because at the end of the day, if your siblings or your like relatives don't have your back, then who the hell is?
Exactly. You know what it's like growing up and having to explain a story 5 times.
Oh my god!
Like,
Oh.
and hear the same 5 advice.
Okay,
like,
well, great freaking segue.
You know, it's like.
Okay, so with that being said, though, because you were the youngest and everybody wanted you to explain everything.
Man, I heard everybody's drama, and I had to reciprocate it. Like, not reciprocate it, but you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody wanted to know what was happening in my life.
Telephone.
Huh?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
definitely
Because
being the
you're the
youngest, like
youngest.
everybody wanted to know your business.
Exactly.
Everybody was checking in
Oh,
on you.
completely.
I feel like some people were just kind of like reliving like their little past. They're like, what's going on?
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
I
yo.
love that.
God, yo, completely,
God.
completely. Or being like kind of bad influences too at
Oh
the time.
man, I wouldn't say bad, but definitely, I definitely appreciate it, to say the least. You know, being the youngest and stuff, growing up with older siblings, because I got to experience life a lot quicker,
Right.
which was definitely played a part in who I am now, I think. So, not to
makes
get all
sense.
serious and stuff.
No, but that makes sense.
Yeah, you know.
100%.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
You got your party phrase out the
Yeah,
way.
exactly. To a certain extent, like who doesn't still love the party? But I
No,
definitely
of
at an
course.
earlier age, I think, than a lot of, maybe a lot of people got to experience some things, because my older sibling was 6-7 years older
7
than
years.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So it's
Eddie's a year older than me. And me and you are 6 years apart. So yeah, that's 7 years from the
So like,
youngest to the
since
oldest.
when it was just the 3 of you, like just you, Bree, and Jazz, and then like you have these like 3 other like teenagers like coming into your life, like who was the one that you were like, okay, like this guy's gonna like guide me, or like this guy's like what was that like
Man.
for like another teenager that you didn't really know to be like, hey, this is how this works?
Yeah, because Eddie was 13.
Because you had
when we all
3
met.
women in your life, like
I don't know. There was never kind of I never felt like an assert of like dominance thing, like like
Like
these
a rite of
people came in,
passage?
kind of stuff like that. Like I never felt that type of energy. I think what definitely played a major part in all of us getting along so quickly is we all played sports.
Yeah.
So
that's
that was
true.
like, it was super easy to get along with somebody whose game I had to be at 6:30, and then stay there
all day.
all day.
Yeah.
Like, just because the last one's game didn't end, because he was the oldest. So it was like
Yeah.
bonding got quick.
All
you
at
did it-
Mason Park, yo.
Exactly. So stuff like that. It's just pretty easy. We all kind of just
Yeah.
Everybody knew the role, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Me and Eddie kind of battled it out. in
Yeah,
the
I remember
beginning.
that. Man, them two used to
Yeah, in the
they used to
beginning.
get at it. I used to
Oh,
be like,
yeah,
damn.
we battled it. But that's a story for another time.
Definitely, I got some stories.
I know.
So who do you look for advice and why?
Oh man.
No pressure.
No pressure. Who do I look to for advice from my siblings?
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick one,
Yeah.
none.
Get the F
Oh
out of here.
my God, he was so serious for a second, and then he laughed.
What's on his face?
None. Oh my. I think it depends on the situation, though, right?
No,
Because there's so
exactly.
many.
I think each one of my siblings offer me different advice
Okay.
that I can use. You know,
Very good.
I
Very
to give you,
smooth.
I can't give you an example off the top of my head, but you know, I do know that, like I said, each one of them offer me a different piece of advice that could help me. You know, if I need Eddie, who's my oldest, you know, if I need help with something technical or things like that, not saying that's what he's limited to, but you know, something that
Right.
I feel that he's just knows so much of, I can go to him, or you know, things like that.
Right, like you know which like situation or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
kind of
Like-
question that you have in your mind, you know who to go to, kind of a
My
sense.
siblings are like a genre.
You
know,
do?
I know which one I can. You know what I'm saying? I gotta dive in.
No, that makes sense because they're all like very different.
Yeah, we are.
Because we're like all, it's crazy. We're
Yeah.
all similar, but we're
Very
all
Very
five,
different.
five different vibes.
Yeah.
Completely, but we all mesh.
Yeah, when we have to.
Come
No,
to
I'm
a
just
party,
kidding.
I'm telling you, you will not be bored at all.
Oh no, 100%.
Parties get lit.
So who was your partner in crime?
Oh man, like my road dog.
Yeah.
Growing up,
Yeah.
Big Jazz.
I was gonna say. I
big
remember
Tomb
so
Raider
many
over here.
times.
Oh my God! For Halloween, that's hilarious. That was
Oh
definitely
man,
for
Jazz
Halloween.
was
Oh yeah, I was the bad influence.
Jazz
kinda.
was the big sister brother, you know, that everyone could ask for. Like she nurtured, I guess you can say, in certain things. She helped me out,
Absolutely.
like, you know, if there was ever any emotional or, you know, stuff that I was going through, she helped me. And then
Aw.
she was a little tomboy back then too, like when I was younger. So she was going through her tomboy phase, which definitely helped a lot, like in certain things. Like if I was into like skateboarding and stuff, like she was into Jordans when I was into, you know, helping
Yeah.
me get into that at an early phase.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
things like that. She was playing basketball. She would help me. So it was just, it definitely made things a lot easier. And then when I got to like middle school and high school, Jasmine had her own
Sweet
spot,
Lord.
and it was,
I had my own apartment.
it's like living with your best friend.
Oh my
my
gosh, he
God,
would
yeah.
come over. He would come over every weekend, literally pack his bag, come to my house
Oh.
for the whole weekend. And I remember my mom one time called me and she was like, I feel like I'm sharing your brother. Like I'm sharing my child. Like what? Like he
What's
never wants to
going
be
on?
home. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but yo, I dropped him off at so many parties. And freaking like, what were they? They
Took
were
me to so many
functions.
parties,
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
yeah.
I took. Oh my gosh! And then yeah, because back then I was 21.
Yeah.
I was 21 at the time, so I just started drinking and partying really because I didn't really drink when I was younger than 21. And no, he was my road dog. Teddy, like for real.
I was down for whatever. Jasmine said, look, hey, we gotta,
Completely.
you know, just to paint a narrative, you know, we live
Yeah.
in San Fernando Valley. She's like, hey, we're going all the way to Canyon Country. There's a party out there. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Oh
we're
my
rolling.
God.
Hey, all right, you know, let's do it.
And all
Like,
you do is just come in the
I'm for
car.
it.
What's the age difference between all the siblings?
So, like currently, you want me to just list out ages now?
Well, yeah, or the year difference.
So okay, so maybe how do you think I should do it? You think I should just tell our
Eddie to you,
names?
yeah.
Or it's okay. So the oldest to youngest.
Yeah.
So you have right now currently 29, 28, 26, 26, 26, and then 22. Wow. So you have 3 26-year-olds
Oh my God.
all in one. So you have like literally triplets in a
Oh
year.
my gosh.
1 in October and then 2 in December.
Imagine that.
No.
I was a freshman with a bunch of seniors my whole life.
Nope.
For real though. For real.
Nope.
for
I
real.
couldn't. I can't even imagine the
But
influence.
Were you and your brother like really close growing up, or like how was that dynamic?
I mean, we were close, but like we definitely had like a not a rivalry. I don't want to say it was a rivalry, but like
Like you're my younger
we were
brother.
like polar opposites. But like the thing with him was I did just he wanted his space, and I always was like watching out for him, and that bugged him because he like couldn't stand it. But when people like crossed that line, like
right.
but back in the day, like it was really bad. Like when you crossed like
Really?
that line with my brother, like it was no mercy. Like Cameron hated that shit. He hated it because he was like, leave me alone, like I don't need your help. And I'm like,
I love
no,
Cameron.
like I can't, I like couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was like his second mom, and it bugged him.
I was about
so
to ask you,
much.
did you feel like a second mom at like certain points?
Unnecessarily, yes, because my
Man.
parents were there all the time. My mom was like,
no.
"I don't need your help," and I was like, "But you don't even know what's going on.
Exactly.
Like you don't see what's happening behind closed doors." And she's
Man.
just like, "He doesn't need your help." Like blah blah blah, and I always would just be there.
Oh, completely.
I think it's definitely gotten better since I like moved here, because I was kind of like, live your life, you know. And he was like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why are you so calm and stuff?" And I'm like, "Live your life, dude. I just want you to be happy. Like, just be happy."
Man,
But
Like,
yeah.
namaste.
Oh yeah.
I definitely believe. I feel like it's kind of like maybe like an older sibling thing.
Has to
I wouldn't
be.
know. You know, I'm the youngest.
I
But
felt like a
like
third.
Jasmine definitely was a second mom.
Oh,
you know.
completely.
Oh my goodness, all the time. Protective instincts were bananas. It was crazy.
Oh,
I couldn't. She was right there. You know. So
I can't hide
I feel like
shit.
you guys could definitely relate to that. You know.
Oh no, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I literally felt like a third parent in that like family situation. But I think too, just being like a girl,
Yeah.
like you have that like. I don't mean to be sexist or anything like that. So
No.
let me just put that out there. But I just feel like you just have that instinct of like,
Yeah.
look, I love you, I care about you, I want you to have fun. Because my thing is like I respected our relationship as siblings, but at the same time, because you knew if you pissed me off, you
Oh,
knew
man,
I
would
was
know.
mad. No joke. Like there was like that one time we got caught. I got in trouble for essentially dropping his ass off at some mother effing function
my
in
gosh.
Canoga Park, like which is like, you know, if you're from the valley, you know where like what Canoga Park, like, you know.
I mean,
It's not
like that
crazy
anymore. But like at the
But
point
back
in time,
then,
it was.
like not a really like
Man, it
good
was-
ass
it was-
neighborhood. It wasn't really great.
She not even painting it right. It was a warehouse party. It was an empty, abandoned warehouse.
Warehouse.
One of the
Okay.
homies.
Well,
I dropped him off,
red flag.
and this mother effer, okay, his friend.
We don't have to get into it. It's good. It's
Nah,
good.
no,
It's
no,
crazy.
no. We're gonna get into it.
Nah,
We're
we
gonna
ain't gotta get into
No, because
it.
no,
You can edit this out.
I'll give a quick story. No joke. Long story short,
Man, look, this is what
essentially,
happened.
I dropped his butt off. He was having a good time. Me and the person I was dating at the time were all the way in Canyon Country, enjoying our time. My mom thinks we're all three together.
Oh no.
So in Canyon Country. So then his friend posts on Facebook, because Facebook was popping back then.
Yeah.
At this function, yada yada yada, X, Y, and Z, but posted it on his page. My mom saw it because my mom is like Mrs. Inspector Gadget.
I feel like I remember this like briefly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, nah, Lauren. You definitely remember
Legitimately,
A
it.
little bit.
She
Yeah.
was, she was
My
in.
mom kept calling me, let me talk to Teddy, because she already knew. When my mom starts asking specific
Oh, yeah, I
questions,
definitely
just
remember this
best
story.
believe she already knows. So then, essentially, me and the dude I was dating at the time, were going 90. Like,
To get to him.
I was speeding. My mom was cussing me out. My mom doesn't cuss at all. Let's just point that picture out. My mom was like, if you don't get my mother effing son right now, me and you are going to have a problem. Because mind you, he was a teenager.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. So I literally drove. I booked it. I picked him up. While I'm picking him up, I see my mom's car. You see mom's car? You remember seeing mom's
Oh
car?
my goodness, that shit was at
Yo,
the stop
we
sign.
see her. We see
I seen
her
a red
car.
fusion
She's
and an
talking
angry
to a
black woman.
cop. She's talking to a cop saying my son is in there because at that point
The cops
cops
showed
got
up.
there.
Man,
Yes.
Oh
they
my
were-
Closed it.
gosh.
They closed
They
the
had
function.
they had like cops had came to the door originally and they're like, hey, you guys need to like shut it down, you know?
Yes.
And then the homies that were in there, you know, running the party and stuff, they were like on their, you know, fuck the whole police,
Oh
you know,
no.
to the break of dawn shit. So they closed the door in the police dude's face, and then they were keeping them from coming inside.
But you're already out at that point.
Yeah, luckily enough for me.
Thank
I
God.
had
He
slipped out.
squeezed out. So essentially,
I had read I had saw the scenario breaking down. I
Yo.
was like, it's time to go.
but
Yeah.
all that to say, I picked him up. I got him in that car, and I was like, and I called him by his full name. Like,
Oh,
I'm
man.
pissed. Called him by his full name, and was like, you and me have an issue. I was like, mom is now on my neck. And my mom told, my mom said, he can't come to your house no more. I was so heartbroken.
Oh man, I was
I
heartbroken.
was so heartbroken. I was like,
You guys had your little thing going on that it was
Oh,
crushed.
I was like, I moved
Oh
on. I was fine.
God.
I
I
would
was
go.
so
I would go
heartbroken when she
there
said that.
straight from out, like straight as soon
After
as the
school
bell
down
rung.
there,
Practice
yeah.
was over.
yeah.
How old were you?
I was like a freshman,
I
sophomore.
was 21.
Yeah, and I was like,
minus 6. That's
So you were like, this was your first taste of freedom, pretty
Yeah,
much.
You were like 12, 13?
Nah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's probably when it started. But when you had your own spot, I was in high school.
Were you?
Yeah, I was like a
Well,
freshman.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, 'cause that was the party.
So you were still like pretty little. I can see why your mom was upset.
Oh,
extremely. I mean, my mom, God bless her heart.
Very
she was
protective.
Very, very strict woman. I mean, she just wanted the best. So
Yeah.
can't be too mad at the woman.
Can't
Well,
be
with that
funny.
all said, like with all of your siblings, like with everybody in your life, how have you found your way on your own without like everybody else's influence? Because you've everybody going in 6, 7, 8 different roads. How are you finding your own road on your own?
That's a mother effing great
All right.
question.
It honestly is. That's why it stumbled.
Because
me.
you have like
it was just,
one sibling who's married and has 2 kids. You have another sibling who's like moved to a different state. You have another one who's like just gotten back from college. You have, you know, your 2 sisters doing their thing. Like, how are you finding your way with
You're giving me like
all
man.
that?
Honestly, it's about to get deep, man.
Yeah,
That's deep
please.
questions. I'm about to give you a deep answer, really.
Please do.
Honestly, I just think it was something that kind of like carried with me since I was younger. Like, don't get me wrong. I love each one of my siblings, all 5 of them. Like Jasmine had said earlier, that step stuff, like that doesn't, no one introduces nobody to, oh, this is my step brother, this is my step.
Yeah,
sibling.
no, yeah.
You say this is my brothers or my sisters.
Exactly. But what comes with that is like mentally, I've always felt kind of like older and stuff like that. I don't want to kind of ramble and stuff like that.
Go ahead,
No.
you're
But as I
fine.
said, like,
Say whatever you want to.
I don't know. I kind of feel like at an early age, I had a pretty clear understanding of who I wanted to be as an adult. My siblings, like Jasmine said, my oldest sibling was 7 and 6 years older. It's a pretty substantial, age gap between anybody.
Absolutely.
And not saying that I saw who they were being and stuff like that. That definitely played an influence in me. Like, for instance, my brother, I'll say this every day, like, not to sidetrack. My brother, Eddie, knew everybody. Like, everybody knew him. And, like, growing up, to me, like, that was the coolest thing. I thought that dude was
So
a
cool.
superstar.
He
Like,
was,
I was like, yo, everybody knows this cat. Like, what? Like, it's like the movies,
Yeah.
So, like, growing up, that inspired me a little bit. I was like, what I kind of took from that, I was like, it's always great, to know a lot of people to a certain extent just because of the connections that can come from it.
Right.
So growing up, I always felt like I wanted to be social because of that, So that kind of helped shaped it in a sense. But being, as I said, like at an early age, I kind of knew I wanted to join the military. I feel like as long as I was like in middle school, I think once I got probably even younger, kinder, I've always been fascinated by that.
Military, yeah.
So that kind of like shaped, I guess, in a way of like who I wanted to be. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't hold myself to as many standards as I probably should have, in middle school and younger days and stuff like that. But as a sense of who I wanted to be, like I knew like military pilot, like that's gonna be me. Like,
That was your goal.
yeah, and there wasn't much influence from my siblings. I was like, they're not gonna influence me on a subject they really don't know much about. We come from a military family, being as our dad was in the military and stuff like that. My sisters, siblings and things like that weren't. So it's like, or weren't in the military. So I couldn't go to them for questions,
Right,
I would have to
makes
go to my
sense.
dad and, he wasn't in the picture. So I would have to go to my uncle and things like that. So that's kind of the people that helped.
Or grandpa.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. My grandfather, rest his peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to Grampy.
So I know I was kind of rambling, my bad.
No,
Yeah,
you're not
no,
rambling at all.
no.
Like,
All right.
But it's essentially you had a goal, you had a vision, you knew who you wanted to be. So,
Exactly.
So no matter of the different personalities and the different goals that like we all had, it didn't influence you to divert from what you originally wanted to do.
Exactly.
Makes
I wish I could have gave a quick, concise answer. Is that?
No,
No,
that's
I don't
fine.
think so. No, I think it
because
was
we're
perfect.
listening. I feel like anybody in any situation who's listening, I feel like Grandpa taught us that too.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make sure Mother F was paying attention to you, ask them a question.
Yeah.
Or like have them, or you be like, wait, what was I talking about?
Exactly. Have them remind you.
Yeah,
you know?
what was I talking about?
If somebody
And then
would've
like
said-
kind of a thing. Yeah, no, that's true. Oh man.
Man, yeah, but like just having that goal, like there was really
Right.
no stopping it. Like I went to an air show. I saw Top Gun. And I was so.
Oh my God.
I was. I was like,
Oh my God.
somebody could have introduced
That was
themselves
his
to
movie,
me.
Top Gun.
I'm the CEO. Yeah, all I heard was, I was like, oh, you work at a desk? That's what's up.
If you're into that kind of thing.
That's cool.
No tea, no shade.
Bro, I'm trying to be in a, you know.
I'm trying to be in the air.
In the air, you know. But
Yeah.
I do wish when I was younger though, looking back at it, I do wish I would have asked more questions.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, just because with certain life advice, I definitely could have got steered a better way.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't get me wrong, we were super close. We're super close now, and we're super close growing up. However, being as there was more males in the house, I think, there's 4 males and 2, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We didn't talk really emotion in the house. No one really dealt with, how you're supposed to like feel emotion. Like, when you feel anger and when you're mad, like you're just taught to like, in a sense that, hey, don't show that. Like, hey, bro, like knock it off. Stop.
You really think that?
What?
Really? I mean, no. I'm intrigued. Don't stop your thought. Don't stop your thought. No.
As a male?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Being like being the younger brother.
It was just one of those things where it was like, oh man, like damn, we're about to get hella deep. So
no,
like,
you're fine. Go ahead.
Again, I love all my siblings. Like I love them to death. However, at an early age, like I said, like I knew I had the vision, like who I wanted to be, and like I knew at an early age who I wanted to be. I saw talking, emotions and stuff like that, like and trying to just voice how you feel and your opinions and things like that. As a sign of weakness.
Okay.
I don't know if that's because, I just always viewed it as like, it's like a female trait and, it's sad to look at it that way at an early age. But being as it may, like, growing up with our father not around, like, I feel like to a certain extent I had to like fend for myself and I had to find a picture of who I wanted to be. You get what I'm saying? I kind of had to make that role model in a sense of who I wanted to be and like, watching, like as a kid, all I did was watch hella fucking movies.
No, you did.
Like that, I did that all through the day, and then with that, I would see characters of like who I would want to be. I'm like, man, like that's the trait of a man you should have. Like that's those type of characteristics are like, or just even just talking to a woman or things like that. Like you see, like the way things like that, the way that character moved, like. Oh, he's super funny. Why? Things like that. So.
That's so interesting. The reason why I think that's so interesting is because. I mean, I can't speak on Bree's behalf, but on my behalf, I felt like if anybody knows me really, really, I get deep with everything and I want to know, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I would ask like how people were feeling and how you were feeling.
I mean, you would, but like,
I think
let's clarify. How many of the answers do you remember? Like, what was the normal answer you would get?
I'm fine.
Oh yeah,
I'm
dude.
good.
Oh God.
Lauren, like you were there, like
Cameron. God,
No, that's
I'm fine. I'm like, are you seriously
Right,
fine
'cause
though?
you're
Like
just,
for
you're
real?
thinking
Like
that, yo, can
you had a
give me
really
little
bad
bit
day
more?
today.
Right.
I'm fine. Like to this day, still answers I'm fine. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right,
Well, when
but-
you're ready, like I'm here.
But I would feel like there would be moments though where me and you kind of got deep.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's times I came to you for advice, but like I think for how I viewed society, like I wouldn't go cry out for help. Like I wouldn't go ask a counselor at school, like things like that. That I know people do, and I'm glad they do because that's actually helping them and stuff like that. But to go ask for help or like, hey mom, I want to seek counseling because this, or hey mom, this made me upset at school, or this happened and this is why I'm feeling that way. I feel like I would come to you more for like sometimes sporting, relationship advice, things like that. But to come to you because I felt upset or, triggered by something, that's not something I would do. I would just stay quiet, and that was how I dealt with it. I was like, all right, well, not going to show that emotion, can't let that one faze me. Got to just chalk that one up and keep it pushing.
Well, let's be honest though, at that time, I feel like mental health and like emotions wasn't really expressed because I feel like when me and you took that one class, what was it? Communications between the sexes.
Class, yeah.
I think for me that kind of put in perspective that men had feelings too. Men should be nurtured also. Men are just like no, but I'm just saying in a sense of because think about how you were saying us being raised. It was like men were supposed to be men. You're supposed to be strong, and we're supposed
I think
to be,
we're
like,
barely
non-emotional.
getting to like we're barely breaking the ice
Well, true,
on men
but
and emotions
no,
and like talking about
true.
stuff, and like I think we're barely to the surface because like guys go through some real hardcore stuff. Like, you know, Teddy, I'm sure that there were conversations that you were like, I need to talk to somebody, but instead of talking to somebody, like
you just took it in.
women
man,
do.
There's a lot of things I can, reminisce on where I'm like, at this age now, I'm like, damn, I really wish I like,
Had somebody talk.
I could have took that a different way. I could have handled that a different scenario. Don't have, have, it could have affected some things in my current day.
Right,
But
right.
Well, yeah, and just like
Just say,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just had a mindset. If I couldn't figure it out,
No one else can.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Like-
No, I feel that. But that's why I think I'm so adamant now about like, and I know you feel like I'm like a cheesy cornball, but I'm like, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Like, it's fine. It's okay. Like, I know for sure with my brother Ellis. Not to put him on blast. Sorry, boo boo.
we can always cut parts out. It's okay. Like,
I know.
don't
But
worry.
no, but me and him have we'll have like deep conversations, like where I'm like seriously sitting there, like getting like to nitty gritty of like emotions, like, you know what I mean, of what's going on. But that's where I feel like too, like, I mean, me and you've had those conversations.
Oh, we definitely have. I think that's because we built a strong like trust foundation.
Right.
But it's another crazy thing. Like you said, like back then wasn't really a mental health thing and stuff like that. We don't really.
Now when we're growing up,
we weren't really talking about it and stuff like when we were younger and things like that. I think another thing that played a big thing, like shaping people, was like the role models.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
If I growing up when I was younger and stuff like that, like it was gangster rap and things like that and stuff like that was like that was cool. Like that was what everybody, wanted, like the style in that era.
Yep.
And I didn't realize until I got older and like I really started like just listening to music. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think that everything like every music's bad and things like that. Like it should make you do something things. But however, the music that you were listening to back then, they talk about some crazy stuff that wouldn't fly in today's.
110.
Some stuff they said back then,
yeah.
you'd be like, I could see now, like not me, because I wouldn't have a problem. You know what I'm saying? But I know some people's parents would hear that on the radio and call in and be like, "Yo,
no,
like,
I mean,
get this
imagine
off." But
the music now.
that was bumping,
like
my gosh,
I
no.
can't even like sometimes like I listen and I'm like, whoa, this got really deep. And I have, cousins that are like in middle school, high school, and I'm like, this lyric is, do you know what this means? Like,
Right.
when I was younger, I was like, this is so good. And then you really think about it and you're like, ooh, like, should we be listening to this right now?
No.
Like,
man,
I know, it
Pretty
made me
Ricky
feel
CD.
super old though. Cause I was like, okay, now I'm actually, not that I don't care, but I'm like, oh wait, what?
Like,
Like,
different perspective on it.
Yeah.
It's more of like an adult perspective on it. Not trying to like, make it seem old. But yeah, no, like I had a Pretty Ricky CD in 6th grade. If you know who Pretty Ricky is, that is a very sexual R&B group. There's no reason in hell I should have been listening to freaking Pretty Ricky ass in 6th grade. That's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Times are different for sure. But
I don't know. It's just like with that, with all that being said, like my point that I was going with that and stuff was like, with those being our idols, and those are like the people that I looked up to and stuff like that. Like 50 Cent wasn't talking about mental toughness back in 2005.
talking about mini men.
You know what I'm saying? He was talking about people coming after and killing them and stuff. Like even in movies, like I feel like most of the male figures and stuff like that, like those are some,
They were gangster rappers,
you're a gangster. Like, man, ain't something happened to you? Hey, all right, man, keep your chin up and keep it pushing.
Take it on the chin and keep going.
And I just felt like stuff like that at a young age, it stuck with me, and I realized like, okay, like that's what you're just supposed to do. Like clearly, I'm seeing so many movies and all this, things around me. Like
this has to be true.
yeah.
This clearly must be the idea of a man,
real world.
to an extent.
That's crazy. Yo.
Yeah, so stuff like that, I give a lot of credit to.
Yeah, no. But
No,
that's
I mean, it makes sense. Like everybody's situations are different. So, but you and your grandpa were super duper close. And since you were the youngest, like you had your 2 sisters and then you had, your 3 older brothers, like when you were younger, did he ever give you like, hey, like, man to man advice, or like, did you ever like look at him for advice?
Man, first of all, rest in peace to my grandfather.
Yeah.
But not to be real with you, growing up, my grandfather and me, like, we didn't really have the strongest bond. Like, I didn't really get close to my grandfather till about like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I think that's what hurt the most when he passed, is because, like, you know, growing up, there's this guy, like, all I remember him is like, dude, my grandpa was hella strict.
Really?
Oh my goodness, growing up, like, my grandpa, like, if you stepped on that man's grass.
Oh, you were getting cussed out.
Have you seen that movie,
Yo.
Monster House?
Oh, yes.
Have you seen Monster House, the
Oh
little
my God.
animation movie?
Perfect analogy.
That little old man,
love my grandpa.
that was like the idea growing up of like
Are you
my
being serious
grandfather.
right
No,
No,
I'm
very.
being
No,
dead
I believe all
serious.
that, but like, okay, super, like, just from an outsider's perspective, like,
Right.
I'm
Right.
super, observant. I watch people's vibes and stuff.
Right.
I never in a million years would have guessed that you and him were not close, because I swear to you, the way he looked at you when we were younger, I'm not kidding you. It was like you were like, he had a vibe. You know when like grandpas look at you
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, like a
Yeah, like a
grandpa
proud
vibe. Like
vibe.
I never in a million years would have thought like, that's crazy.
Yeah, like it brings a tear to my eye. Like that's my
like-
best friend, but like growing up, it wasn't
Yeah.
like that. That's the craziest part.
He was really
That's
strict on Teddy, for
crazy.
sure. He was really
Yeah.
strict on you.
But
Me and Bree got away with anything. But Teddy,
course.
yeah.
oh man,
Teddy you got the strict stick.
yeah.
Yeah, boo boo.
Little man.
Well, you know what? I think it's because a piece of me believes he wanted me to like be. He wanted me to achieve the goals I wanted to achieve. Like he knew I wanted to be a fighter pilot. Like he knew I wanted to be in the military and things
Right.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was holding me to that standard.
Absolutely.
Because like I was 12 years old, and then oh my goodness, man, I can remember if a bed wasn't made certain, tightness on the
Yeah.
sheet, if he couldn't
Yeah.
bounce a quarter on the sheet of
Make
the
it
bed or a
gosh.
nickel, I would
Make
have
it
to
again.
remake that bed so many times. And it's
Yeah.
like looking back at it, I couldn't appreciate it for what it was.
Yeah.
But now that
Being
I'm
older and putting it in
Yeah.
perspective.
I think he was shaping me to be really who I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That is tough to talk about, but
I
you know.
know.
It's 2020. We're dealing with our emotions. So.
No, absolutely.
jazzy over
No,
here,
and
you
it's
feel me?
perfect. No, trust me, it's perfectly fine. I definitely have my moments. I miss that man so much.
Every day.
He's like literally was our father, really.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? To me, in my eyes, like that's how I like viewed him. I remember him taking me to my first function without my mom knowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
wow.
I mean? Like him dropping me off at this like ratchet ass party and everything, but he was just so down because he knew, like, he's like, I had fun as a kid. I want you to be fun. I want you to have fun. And if anything happens, like, just let me know. Like, just call me and I'll come and pick you up and all that stuff. But no, he definitely taught a lot of lessons, that's for sure. Like, if you go into someone's house and you move things around, you better put that shit back exactly where the hell you got it from. But nah, he was a really cool and dope dude. Like, I will agree with you when it comes to us being older and becoming older, and with him and just having like these talks and just chilling out where we have like family parties and stuff like that. He was just a cool dude. And like, if you're like, when you came over, or if any of our like partners at the time came over or friends came over, like, he was a part of it. Like, he was just a young cool dude, like back then in the day, where like with his time. So he was a cool being. I miss him so much. I love him. And yeah, there's no other person on this earth that I've ever met that was like my grandfather ever. He was
That
a
man
great
was
dude.
he was the definition of a man in my eyes.
Completely.
Like,
Completely.
that's really all you can say. Like, he's been through so much, and you would never
Yeah.
know.
No.
Like, if he didn't show it at all, he's just a family man.
Yep.
That was a cool dude in my eyes.
Yeah. Who showed up. No matter if he was pissed.
Ooh.
If he was pissed, he was still showing up. He would make sure you good. And afterwards, cuss your ass out right after. Like, But yeah, nah, he's really, really cool. Really, really cool. But yeah.
I feel so bad. I want to hug you guys. I feel so bad. Oh my
Oh, nah,
gosh.
man. It's,
no, it's
if anything,
alright.
it's
I don't want you
tears
guys to be like not sad. I know you're not sad. That's not the right word, but
Oh,
you know,
if
like,
anything, it's tears of joy. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, don't
good.
get me
Because,
wrong,
oh my
like-
God, my heart just broke a little bit.
Nah,
No.
Honestly, I was like, oh my
man,
gosh.
No,
that man
don't.
is
It's just,
just a touchy subject. Just I
Yeah.
don't know, like Jasmine said, he was almost a father figure. He was like
Yeah.
a father figure in a lot of ways. So it's
Right.
just like that, and like I said before, like I just got close with him in the last couple of years, so
Right.
it's like losing like a best friend to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Right. No, absolutely. And that's the thing. I feel with neither one of us have ever felt like you losing someone that close.
Yeah, like
It hurts different.
Yeah,
It
like, it
hurts
was
a
tough,
lot
like-
different. And
I don't know, like I don't know, it's weird. Like at an early age, I don't know, like I think growing up too, like being as you said, like you know, being at one of the closer, like since this is like one of the immediate families,
Yeah.
it was kind of weird, like growing up, like even when death would happen in the family and stuff like that. Like to me, I feel like to an extent, like it wouldn't phase me as much.
It was
like
a little
it was,
different.
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
you just blow past it, and then
like you missed it and mourned it at that moment, but it wasn't as like lingering. I
yeah,
feel
like you know, it was like damn, like you know, I'm sorry for your, you know, like I'm sad now at this moment in time, but
Right.
next week, you know, I'm okay
Time
through
goes.
it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Time heals all. But this one, it hits a lot different.
yeah,
It literally I just genuinely don't know how to explain it. It just literally like puts a lot of things in perspective, and you helped me put a lot of things in perspective too about like as far as value, time, like I'm not letting certain things phase me anymore. Like this isn't worth it. If you don't want to be a part of my life, then bye. Like because I've already felt what it feels like to have someone in my life that I love so much that I can't control leaving. So if you want to leave, you can leave. I'm not going to sit here and stop you because I will go and express my love to someone else who wants to be here,
Yeah.
who I can actually share those moments with and share that like experience of loving each other, whether that's like family, friends, whoever, you name it. But it definitely, I don't know, it's a feeling that you can't even describe losing somebody like that. That was yeah, no, I don't know if people believe in like, you know, spirits and all that stuff, but not to be weird or go out into a weird subject, but no, I still feel like he's here. He still sends his signals of like him, you know, and with certain things. So, you know, yeah, I miss him.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because, like, again, you're the older sister. He's the younger brother. Like, you two have different perspectives. Like, his perspective, like, you know, on a lot of stuff, like, is new to you, you know, like, you didn't know or maybe knew a little bit. But it's interesting, like, for sure. And, like, you guys talking about it, like, on the podcast, like, it doesn't matter if 20 people listen to this or 3,000 people listen to it. Like, someone that we know is a younger sibling. Like, someone that we know is going through things that's like, hey, I can't talk about this, I can't express this, or they might have sons that are like, hey, you know, I need to bring more awareness to this, like you're the youngest, like, you know, or maybe the only child or whatever, the oldest, you know, it goes probably like a lot of ways, but it's definitely like helpful to like talk about it, especially like being the youngest. I'm sure is freaking hard.
No,
like I'm sure it was for a lot of people,
And I mean,
Oh, it was definitely there were so many
but
people
amazing
you
at the
wanted
same time, you know.
Definitely, it had its ups and downs. Like you know, if I can cut you off, I'm sorry.
No.
you're good.
No,
We do that all the time.
not at all, not at all.
Yeah, like there was 5 different people above me. Like you get what I'm saying. One was, you know, don't get me wrong, we're all good children. Don't get me wrong, but like one was a straight A student. One was a freaking freak athlete in Texas, getting scholarships and offers right off the
Left
back.
and
The other
right.
one was, you know, dunking basketballs. One was in gymnastics. One was doing his own thing. Like it was just so many different people to try looking up to. Like as a younger person, it's kind of hard. It's like, you know, it's like who am I supposed to follow?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I can't follow these people's lead. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
like, I'm cool. I don't want to do that. I already did it because I got to experience a little bit like with each person. So like I was like, I already did that. Okay.
But would you tell me if I'm right or wrong? Like not even right or wrong, but just give me your perspective on this though. Like having multiple kind of forced you into a sense to find your own way. Because instead of being influenced to go someone's path that might not even have been yours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like how like the blessing and the curse like of that like happening?
I mean, like, in a sense, like, are you kind of asking like how did I find a way to like stand out amongst
I'm
5
not
different
asking.
siblings?
No, I'm not asking. What I'm saying is just kind of like, to me, I feel like just listening to that, you explaining it in that way, I feel like at the end of the day, you were able to find yourself because there were so many. where it was like, okay, well, shoot, I can't really follow this one. I can't really follow that one.
Oh.
And damn, I can't
Well, he
follow
got to
this one, so let me
try
just-
all these different things since he was
Yeah.
like 12. So I mean, like
Yeah.
he got an early start, dude. Are you kidding
that's
me?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like I got like a super early start. So like, you're right. It definitely did help me. But like I think since I got to sample, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
each one,
how
I was
old are
like,
you?
I'm only 22.
Okay, yeah. What was the last time you met a 22-year-old young man who's like, I know exactly what I want and what I don't want?
I didn't know what I wanted at 22.
Exactly. So it's a blessing in disguise because you got to try all these different hats and you're like, this definitely isn't for me. This isn't for me. I kind of like this part. So you got to take all these little like perspectives from it. And now you're like 110% who you are without a doubt.
That's true. And because too,
Right,
it's like you don't
absolutely
have
right.
to go through the consequence either.
I knew how to get out of everything.
learns.
Like at least
But
it
that's
felt
okay
like.
because if I went through something and I tried it myself, I have to deal with the
Well,
consequences.
like look at like you and I, for example, like
What?
we like did all this stuff that like he saw us do, you know,
Oh,
or
I
like even with school's
know.
perspective and stuff, like what to study. Like he now knows like I want this and I don't want that.
Because I've seen what they've gone through.
Exactly.
I've seen the consequences that they had to deal with.
He tried it for like a little bit and then he was like, nope, I'm good.
I got to. I felt like at an early age, I got to learn about like a poker face, and that kind of got me out of a lot of stuff.
Oh,
You know, I got to see each one of the siblings like little fuck ups and like their faces. I was like, they're that one's
They
busted.
messed up.
I was like, I could see it. You know, I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
busted.
That's
Went wrong. I could
great.
just, you know. So when it was my turn to get in trouble, I was just, I had all the answers. I knew,
I
you know, from each
can't.
fuck up. It's like,
Did your brother get away with a lot of stuff being the
No.
youngest?
No.
No.
No, him and I didn't get away with like anything. We didn't really try to. Like that wasn't like no, man. That town was way too small. Mm-mm.
Oh.
We were super open with my parents. But my brother was like chill. He like loved video games. He was like the captain of a tennis team.
Oh.
He was chilling.
see, like I wish I could have
It was very easy.
had that relationship with my mother,
Listen,
you know?
no, there were definitely ups and downs. Like my parents and like my brother, my parents and I, like we had fights, like everybody does. But
Of course.
you know,
Yeah.
we like just had a different like lifestyle. Like I lived in
Right.
the desert, you guys. Like
Oh, trust me.
I
different
woke up,
lifestyle
I
out
went to
there.
like I had to go to gym early
that
because if it
town.
reached 120 or even like a certain number, like you're not outside. Like
Oh, wow.
you're inside the building. You can't do anything. Yeah. Talk about how hot that would be. Like
Oh my
it's
God,
so-
no.
It makes so much. That's so crazy.
It's
That
so
is
crazy.
banana. I didn't even think of like conditioning.
Yes,
You
you guys
know,
have no idea when you guys complain about weather. It irks me so much because I'm like, you have no idea like
What hot is.
what hot is. You don't know what humid is like because we have to deal with like monsoon seasons. Like
Oh, now
yes,
that, now that,
you literally
I
don't know.
escaped.
It monsoons and then for 2 weeks it is like a musty, sticky.
Oh,
this is
God,
way
no.
off topic, but
Man, that's
Well, no, not really, because
I've
at
seen
the
it.
end of the day, though, it shows that me and you were raised in two different conditions completely. You come from a household of 4. I come in a household from a household of 8.
mm-hmm.
You come from a small town.
Mm-hmm.
We come from a very city town.
yeah,
I wouldn't even label it a town, a city.
It's a city.
a huge,
A huge
never-ending city.
You
like,
know what I'm
Like,
saying?
Yeah.
But it like just shows the dynamics that those play and the like on
I don't-
your childhood growing up, though.
You know what's crazy? It's just like, because what's another big difference, what I think I'm noticing, or at least to what I find, is like, sounds like there was a lot of like openness, like you're saying, between, you know, your brother and your mom and your dad and stuff like that. You guys were just very open. And like, we had a big family, we had 8, but like, we weren't open. I don't remember ever being very open with my mother and, you know, my stepdad and stuff like that. Like, that doesn't remember. That I don't
Really?
recall, but I can remember, you know, being open with my siblings and things like that. Just because, I don't know if it's because I'm the youngest. I felt like I always had an older person's
And we
advice,
weren't
like a
gonna
little,
snitch.
you know, something like that. And they could kind of relate to me. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
you're still hella young, you know, like.
I mean, I should clarify. Like, we had an open relationship. Don't get me wrong, but like, it wasn't like a
Open.
if you talk to my brother on his perspective and mine, it's gonna be the polar opposites. Like,
Dog.
we had a completely different childhood.
Okay, well, Cameron, you're getting on the show.
Yeah, Cameron's gonna listen to this and be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I have to say that he definitely had a
Right.
way different childhood than I did.
Oh no, absolutely. That's why I'm shocked with some of the things you're saying. I'm just like, oh, you don't think we were open?
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
he's like very like chill though. He's like super he's just there.
Cameron's a cool
But with that said, so if you guys, just to close this up,
dude. I know.
if you had to describe your family in one word, what would you use? One word.
Go.
No pressure.
I'll give you 2.
Me too? Nah, I'm thinking of one. Just damn.
Just one word.
Can I brother get a countdown?
Just one word.
Okay.
Little Jeopardy music, little something to think. If I had to describe my family in one
word.
My whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Whole family. I got.
Whoa. That's a big one.
Okay, maybe not your whole family, but like you, your siblings.
Nah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just stalling. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
he's just
We
trying to
easily
think.
can cut this out.
Yeah, no, you're
exactly. So
fine.
you know what? Relax. No, I'm just kidding.
He's like, don't put pressure on me. You've been putting pressure on me all night.
Damn, I got a word. I'm just like,
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
absolutely not. Nowhere near that word.
I know it's corny.
What word would I use? I would use like.
I would give you 2.
What word would you use, Jasmine?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me hear you, cause you talking about 2. Let me hear you 2, and then maybe I can piggyback off of that.
I would say loving.
No, I'm
I
just
would
kidding,
say
I'm just kidding,
loving.
I'm just
But when
kidding.
I say
Absolutely
loving,
right.
I mean that like in a sense of like the show up part. Like we're very supportive and like, that's categorized as loving.
Oh man.
Oh, well, shoot. You know what? If I had to put this all in one, welcoming. We're definitely a welcoming, loving
I'd say
family.
extraordinary.
There you go.
That's a good one.
There's the word I was looking for.
And
That's
yeah.
a good one. I like that one.
Extraordinary. Because if you're lucky, because not everyone gets to
Nope.
be a part of like the whole family, like get like
Nope.
really like feel like the full family experience. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
my family being as open as they are,
Mm-hmm.
not everybody's gonna be invited to Thanksgiving
Heck
2020.
no.
You know what I'm saying? But going, damn, where was I?
No tea, no shade. One word.
Huh?
Your word.
No, the extraordinary word. Where I'm going with that, like if you take the time to actually learn about the whole family like dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
like the Reeds, the Simeons, coming
Yeah.
together and things like that. It's extraordinary.
No, it is.
Especially when you see it all in action, you'd be like, "What the fuck?
If
Like,
you-
what do you mean?
No,
you guys,
yeah.
that's your
Yo.
stepbrother? Like,
Yeah.
And you
wait,
said
he's
this
a
too.
Yeah.
twin?
Oh,
Like,
dude.
Wait, you mean that's the oldest?
I was so
Yes.
confused.
Wait,
I feel
that's your
like when we
niece?
walk
I was
into
so
a room,
confused.
not to be cocky
No,
or
you're
like,
good.
when we all are together and we walk into some place, you know that you see, like, we
Oh,
know
man,
that we're
it's just
seen. We're not like some.
it's a large group, man.
Yeah,
we
like-
stand out.
No,
Are
but
you
it's like
kidding me?
can
Do you
feel
guys
the
remember
presence
going-
of, like, us being there? Like, not
No,
trying
I-
to sound cocky or anything like
No,
that.
I get what
but,
you're
like,
saying. It's just definitely a noticeable.
Absolutely.
I mean, you gotta think too. This group ranges from brothers who are like 6'6", 6'7" to like
Yeah.
the shortest is like 5 feet. Bree leading the pack.
Bree. No, well, as far as with but as far as with the boys, the shortest is what, 6'1", 6'2"?
6'3".
6'3"? Okay, I'll give you 6'3". And then the shortest girl is 5 foot, is Bree. So you
That's
got
Do your
you got
thing, Bree.
4 boys that are 6'3" plus. And then you have me and Bree, who's 5'4" and 5 foot.
Man,
Tiny.
all right, I'm like 6'2".
That's amazing.
But yeah, but it's cool. It's cool being from a big family. I love it.
Man, what about you though? Like
I know being
when
from
you
a
like, I'm curious because like I've talked with people, and they've told me like it's crazy like how your family works and things like that. Like it's crazy how you guys all get along and stuff like that. Did you feel like coming in like everything was just super welcoming? Like you just kind of like got on track with everybody's like personality, or like did you feel like, oh, with this sibling I'm cool with, like he's a little easier to talk to,
Why you touch my foot?
my fault.
Not really.
Oh man, how was it?
Like, I mean, like your mom and Edgehill were like the best. They
Uh-huh.
were super sweet, and like he always like hugged everybody and was like hi, like super welcoming. He'd like chill outside and like do his thing, and then like your mom was just like always going, like always doing
Oh.
something,
Oh, yeah, that's
and always cooking something, and like it was just like, oh, like okay, like Mama Bear's here, like okay, like she definitely like set a tone for sure, because it was like still her house, and she was like like a mom still.
Yeah,
And I
she's the woman of the house.
like we didn't know who she was, and she was like super chill. Then like the brothers though, seriously, I was like, okay, like why are you guys so tall? Like how do you all live here? Like this is insane. Like, and then there was like teeny tiny Bree, like teeny tiny little Bree. But yeah, I think everybody was just like super chill. Like
Yeah.
it came off like everything was fine.
Yeah.
Like you guys were the Brady Bunch and this worked. Like
Exactly.
everybody had their thing. They had their, like I said, you guys all had your own space. Everybody was doing their own thing, whether it was like coming and going, like everybody was checking in. Like it just seemed like that was like what it was like since day one.
Yeah.
But the easiest to talk to was of course you.
Oh, come on.
You and your little tiny braces
Oh,
and
like,
hey, relax.
hey, yeah, you were like the
He was
sweetest because
so
you wanted to like
cute.
do what we were doing and like hang out with her and like
Yeah.
no, yeah, for sure.
I would drag him to the deaf events with me all
Oh
the time.
man, you I wasn't
my
dragged. That was an
God,
experience.
The deaf events.
He would always come
COC,
with
shout
me.
out them.
You
Always
did your
come with
thing
me.
though. You held your
Always
you held
came with
yourself.
me.
You did your thing.
But you know what's funny though? I feel like when I met your family for the first time, even though I was a little nervous, I was just kind of like, not this person meeting like 7 people at the same time. So I
Yo.
was like, this should be fine. But I remember when I met your mom and your brother for the first time, I was like, oh, actually, wait a minute, I'm a little nervous. Like
Really?
a little.
Oh
Like,
my
like, don't get
gosh.
me wrong. Like your family's super welcoming. Like super welcoming.
Well, like you want to make a good impression, you know. You don't want to come off as like a
Yeah.
ding dong, like
No, of course
you know,
not.
and like you want your friends' parents to like
First
you.
impression.
Right. No, for real. But
Was
I
that
don't know. They were
fucking-
just
Yeah, like-
no,
Was that
your
airhead
family's just so
outside?
welcoming.
Yeah, like
Yeah. No,
you
no.
want
But I
your
like,
friends' parents to like you.
Meeting other people's families and stuff has always been easier, I think, just because there's
little bit,
so
right.
many of us. Like I feel like I'm constantly, since as being the youngest one, I don't know if this is just my perspective.
maybe.
I felt like growing up, I was constantly meeting new people.
Oh, constantly.
Like there was always someone that I had to introduce myself to, like
Oh,
you know,
wow.
with each of my siblings, like them bringing their friends over and
Yeah.
things like that. Like my social, you know, encountering, you know, social skills were, you know, I had just constantly being used. Like
Yeah,
I-
and that's the thing. I wasn't used to like a 14-year-old boy being like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hello," like, why are you talking to me? Like, this is super weird because normally little teenagers are like, "Ew,"
All
like,
quiet
I'm not
in the
gonna
corner
talk
on
to
their
you,
phone
you
and
know,
shit.
like,
man, I had to-
yeah.
Man, I thinking
was
back
just
at it, it's crazy
confused.
'cause, like thinking at 14, I thought I was like 17, 18 years old. That's crazy. Yeah, Jasmine has some crazy memories.
No, we do. How you deliver your sarcastic jokes sometimes.
Oh my
Oh, not me.
god, yeah.
I'm not sarcastic. What are you guys talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Dang. Okay. Let's
But-
move
it's a
past
good
that one.
sarcasm.
I know. Mm-mm.
Hey, you know what? Sarcasm
What?
brings humor. Humor is good for the soul.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Did that come out of a book?
It did.
Did it? What book? I'm not gonna put you on blast.
Damn, Jazz.
Why did that sound so
I know.
familiar?
I have no idea.
It was my book. Okay, it's me. It's me
There you go,
freestyling.
boo-boo.
Jasmine
Go
just fucking
ahead.
ruined
I'm
it.
gonna snap to it. But with that said, though, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had a great time. Thank you for coming
Yeah,
on
thank
the
you
show.
for being our
I
guest.
did. Damn, I got some questions for y'all next time, man. So I'm looking forward to the
Okay.
next
Oh
encounter.
really? You have questions for us?
Oh man, next time, you know, we'll get into it.
Oh no, you're coming on back on the show.
Definitely.
Okay.
We'll
How was it though? You being your
part two.
first experience on?
you know, besides the host touching me with her foot right now.
No. Oh, I was like, what? I was like,
No.
no.
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
God.
Honestly, no, it was a cool experience. It really was. It was. We talked about a lot more than I could have imagined talking about. Nothing that we talked about in the fucking warm ups. I'll tell you that.
No, not at all.
I had some-
Not at all.
It's easy to kind of keep it going sometimes when you're on a roll. It's hard to stop.
honestly, it just it felt really raw. Like, and the emotion was there. It's crazy. I definitely look forward to it. Big shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me. Honestly, I know it. This is, you know, sometimes can't be easy. You know, coming to people's houses and stuff like that. You know, just chopping it up. I don't know.
We good.
Talking with other people, like y'all did y'all things. Y'all made this very inviting
Aw,
and
thanks,
Very
it's
comfortable.
very comfortable and things like
And
that.
thanks
so-
to your amazing
Aw.
girlfriend for having us in her space while she's
I know,
working
she
on a
just
paper
be like,
over
"Shout out,
there.
Jamie."
She's been so focused this entire time. I keep looking at her and she's like just going, like she's not stopping. So thank you for letting us crash in your apartment.
I know. The apartment's so cute.
Very cute.
So cute. But yeah, that's gonna be a wrap, you guys.
So our weekly shout outs go to @Sprout the podcast. Thanks, girl, for following us. We love your inspirational Instagram.
Our episode comes out on Saturdays by 5 p.m. So stay tuned.
The next episode will be coming to you on November 21st.
Thanks again for joining us, and we really appreciate all the support and the love and the comments, especially the comments and interacting with us. We really appreciate y'all.
Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram at Jas&Lo Podcast. Bye, guys.
Toodles.
Show you